Usually, when a car comes out, it's pretty easy to decide what it competes against, and therefore who's going to buy it. Then you can decide whether it's fit for purpose. Job done. But it's not the case with the 335i. You see, I can't understand who's going to pay 33 grand for a 4-seat, 2-door coupe that looks pretty much the same as all the other 3 Series currently tooling around Britain's motorways. You know the ones, they're out there selling important things like feather dusters and doorknobs.
Let's start with some facts. I love the sound of its Super Trick engine. It produces a properly smile-inducing 306 brake horsepower. It does 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 5.5 seconds and hits an electronically limited 155 miles an hour. Inside, there's room for a couple of decent-sized film crew in the back seats, which is good. But other than a slightly more laid-back driving position, it just feels like a normal 3, which is bad. Same dash, same interior bits. Nothing here to make you think, ooh, I'm in a very special sporting car.
The other slight strangeness is one for the trades descriptions people, because unlike the advertising on the back, there isn't actually a 3.5 litre under the bonnet.
Instead, it's got a 3-litre straight-six that BMW does so well. The pair of small turbos help whip up the horsepower like tiny, angry jockeys, giving you the power equivalent of a small V8. BMW have used 2 turbos, each feeding 3 cylinders, rather than one giant turbo dealing with all 6. It means they can be smaller, which means they get up to speed quicker, which means less turbo lag. Simple.
Does it work though? Well, yeah. This is a really weird engine. There's very, very little lag at all, and peak torque arrives at about 1300 RPM and stays with you right until 5000. That means that initially it reacts like a big diesel 6 with all that grunty low-down torque, but then when you rev it, it goes all the way to 7000 RPM with loads of power, and it just feels really strong. Usually you have to make do with either a cart horse or a racehorse, but here you've got the best of both worlds. It's a racing cart horse. The fact that this is a relatively light engine compared to, say, something like a naturally aspirated V8 with similar power means that it corners with a real light-footed feel. It might be immensely quick, but never feels like it's going to turn suddenly and punch you really hard in the ego. It basically takes all the really good aspects of the 3 Series and just makes them that 10% sharper.
Which makes it very good indeed, but I'm still a little bit deflated about the styling. Because don't forget, for the same money, you could have something mental looking like a Chrysler 300C, and that comes with a 5.7 litre V8 that you can tell your mates about. Now that would make you exciting and interesting.
In fact, the BMW styling is so anonymous that when we parked on our local high street, no one, not even the traffic warden, batted an eyelid. I want my 30 grand coupe to turn heads, but in 30 minutes, not one person appeared interested. Bah. So it's a great machine, but is it a great car? Well, consider the options. The Merc CLK 350 is slower and 5 grand more. The TT and Brera look great, but don't drive so well, unlike the Porsche Cayman. But that has half the seats.
Which means that spending £33,000 on a 3 Series coupe suddenly makes sense. It's wickedly fast, it handles brilliantly, and it's a well-sorted coupe. It's just that it looks dull. I want a more emotional response from a coupe. Basically, I'm just looking for a bit more of a tickle in the trouser department.